So I recently brought along the DJI Osmo Action 4 on a bike ride. And on that bike ride, I rode the Vanpowers Urban Glide Pro for about 15 miles over the course of a little bit over an hour. In the video today, I'm going to share the entirety of that bike ride with the POV footage so that you can experience the adventure as well. I found both the Osmo Action 4 and the Vanpowers Urban Glide Pro to be particularly impressive, and both offered a great experience on that bike ride. If you'd like to learn more about the settings I used with the Osmo Action 4, I've linked to the video above for my POV bike best settings. In addition, if you'd like to learn more about the Vanpowers Urban Glide Pro e-bike, I've also linked to a video above where I do an extensive review on that incredible bike. Enjoy the adventure. Hi. So it's about 100 degrees out today. Riding on some scenic bike trails down here. I chose the city of Lynchburg, Virginia today because it's got a bunch of great trails. So I'm gonna take this for several miles. Now this stretch of trail right here is actually on an island. It's called Percival's Island, and there's quite a bit of shade on this, so kind of looking forward to that today. Like I said, it's 100 degrees, it's very humid. It's a hot day for having a bike helmet on too, but it's pretty comfortable when you're moving right along. I don't know if you can see that speedometer here from my camera, but I'm going 13 right now, and I've got it in pedal assist 1 mode. Means I'm getting a little bit of assist here, but I don't need much because this is fairly level ground right now. Hey, how are you? So this trail kind of goes along for a couple miles, and we get to another bridge at the other end of this island, and then it goes a little bit further and then it ends. So once I get to the end, I'm gonna ride back, and then I'm gonna go up into the city here so you can really get a full experience of how this bike handles and what it's like to ride it. So what I'm gonna do right here, since I have a nice open stretch, is I'm gonna demonstrate the throttle on here. So if you wanna just do some riding where you don't have to pedal at all, you've got the throttle button right down here by my left thumb. And I'm gonna just demonstrate. I'm gonna stop pedaling, and I'm gonna hold that down. So it really gets up to speed very fast. So we're going 20 now. And 20, of course, is the upper limit of speed on this because it is a Class 2 e-bike. But the throttle is very responsive. I can basically feel that front wheel lift off the ground almost when I first hit it. I'm gonna let off on it. We'll also do a 0 to 20 so we can get a full test with that as well, because I'd like to see how quick it can go from 0 to 20 on flat ground, of course. So some other features of this bike, the battery in it is a 500 watt-hour battery, so it does hold quite a bit of charge, and you're supposed to be able to get about 70 miles out of one battery. Now that, of course, is going to depend on a lot of factors, like how much pedal assist you're using, and also if you're going up or down hills, you know, so I would take that with a grain of salt, but it'll probably get at least 40 or 50 miles. I hear a train over there. Actually had to wait a little bit to drive down here today because of a very long train. I think I counted about 200 cars before I lost count, so it was a big one. Hey, how are you? So I'm already at the bridge on the other side of the island here. This bridge definitely has some history on it. And this is crossing over the James River. So you probably can't see it, but there's a lot of people out there kayaking and tubing today. And what a great day for that. Biking is great as long as I keep moving. Once I lose my breeze, it gets hot fast. All right, so I haven't really been on this stretch of trail much here, and I don't recall how soon it goes to gravel, but I do know this bike can handle a little bit of gravel like that, no problem. It does have 27.5-inch tires on it, which is really large for a bike like this. I like that, and I believe they're about 2¼ inches wide. So they're not super narrow tires, but they're not like fat bike tires either. And this bike does have 8 gears on it. Over here by my right thumb is where I can shift gears. So do note that you can't shift gears if you're not actively riding this with it on. It does need to be turned on to shift gears. And I find right here when there's not a lot of people, you know, just cruising along at a nice 14 or 15 miles per hour is comfortable and pleasant. And I still have pedal assist 1 on. I don't find on this type of ground where it's relatively level that I really need more than pedal assist 1. Now I have a feeling when we get up into the city later that we're gonna have some hills to deal with, and there I'm probably gonna want pedal assist 2 or maybe 3. This does have pedal assist modes all the way up to 5. So it goes from no pedal assist at all to 5. So if you wanna drive this with no pedal assist, you can drive it in neutral, but you do have to do all of the pedaling, and you feel it quickly. This bike does weigh about 70 pounds, so you can feel that pretty quick. This trail's really pleasant out here. Just a lot of trees and grass, and that's about it. Maybe see the occasional wildlife along here. By the way, the suspension on this handles those bumps really well. There is an adjustment you can make up here where you can basically activate and deactivate the suspension. It's on the right side of the front tire. I have the suspension activated because there are some bumps along here and I want to see how that feels. I believe if you don't have the suspension engaged, that you'll probably get slightly better handling, but I haven't really felt like I don't have control of the bike. It feels good, so I'm not too concerned about that. Nice little gazebo there. So it looks like we're at mile marker 6 of this particular trail. I'm gonna bump it up to pedal assist 2. And we're gonna make some good time here since it's wide open. If the trail's this empty when I turn around, I'll do my 0 to 20 on the way back so you can see how this bike does with that. One thing I noticed right away, I've been on this 2.4 miles and the seat on this is really comfortable. Some seats on bikes are rather small and I usually upgrade them, but this one on here, I don't feel like I'm gonna need to upgrade. It's very comfortable riding it and it's got a little bit of give to it too on the bumps. So it's very comfortable. Looks like we're probably coming to the other end of the trail soon. Got the river off to the right. And by the way, all the footage on this bike ride today is filmed using the DJI Osmo Action 4. That's a brand new camera from DJI, and I wanted to bring it along today to see how that would do on this as well. We are in and out of light and shadows, so it's a great test of an action camera for that, because action cameras have quite small sensors, so it's interesting to see how they do. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
You got the easy bike.
I appreciate it on a hot day.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm wearing the Action 4 on a mount around my neck, and it's kind of like a chest mount, but I like this one a little bit better. It's a neck mount from Ulanzi, and I really like it's made of a silicone material. You can kind of shape it and conform it to how you want it to be, but One of the negatives is I can't see the screen of the Osmo Action 4 from my perspective because of how I have it angled. So I'm just gonna confirm that I have this at the right angle, so you're not getting like all ground or all trees. So I'm gonna do an angle check here. All right, angle looks good. So this is a good opportunity to try turbo. We're gonna fire it up right now. 0 to 20. Really fast. I wasn't counting the seconds out loud, but I think that was about 4 or 5 seconds there, so that was very impressive. So the trail here has a slight uphill, but pedal assist 1, it's still plenty of power. I've got this bike in 7th or 8th gear right now and just cruising right along at about 14 or 15. I find that to be a pleasant speed on this type of trail where there's a little bit of corners and some bumps on it. 20 feels a little bit too fast when I'm sharing it with a lot of other people on a day like today too. So I think if I had this trail all to myself, you know, I might go 20, but I'm out here to enjoy the scenery as well, and I hope you're enjoying the ride-along tour here. So the thing I like about e-bikes, if you don't know about e-bikes, E stands for electronic, is they allow you to go a lot faster and a lot further than you would otherwise be able to go if you were just manually pedaling a bike. So really it makes them a great means of getting around a city, especially if you don't want to drive or take public transit. If you're in a city with a lot of good bike trails, this is a really good way to get around the city. Perfect for that bike lane. And check your local laws, but Class 2 e-bikes are mostly treated the same in nearly all places as normal bikes. So any laws or restrictions that apply to a normal bicycle is typically going to apply to an e-bike as well. And e-bikes, what I like is, like I said earlier, a day like today when it's 100, having an e-bike where I don't have to do a lot of work, but I can still get out and get some exercise and see stuff from the perspective of a bike. It's really nice because I'm not dying of sweat quite as much as I would be if I was pedaling along on my own. And I love getting exercise, but an e-bike today is going to allow me to go a lot further than I probably would have otherwise. And it is exercise, you know, I'm pedaling here, I'm doing some workout, but again, it's not as hard as it would be otherwise. I will also mention the braking on here is really responsive. This has some nice disc brakes on here. I believe they're 180 millimeters in size, which is a good size for this. Very responsive. And the handlebar on here is adjustable. So I have it at about 50 or 60 degrees right now. I find that angle's rather pleasant. You can adjust them from 0 all the way up to 90. And as you saw when I was assembling the bike, Vanpower sends all the tools you'll need. It's got that nice set of Allen wrenches, some of the other wrenches, a screwdriver, everything, all in one box. I really appreciate that extra thought that went into that. And I like to bring those along just in case, you know, I have something that needs adjusting or gets loose. I can easily pop those into my pocket. So I make an effort to bring those along with me. Hope to never need them, but they're good to have just in case. Hey, how are you? Good. All right, back across this old bridge. I love it that cities like this have incredible bike trails like this. They're a lot of fun to ride on. Really nice scenery, just a great time. I love riding through old bridges like this. Some of the boards are a little loose. That makes it even more fun too. So when I started off today, I had this bike fully charged to 100%. And so far on the ride today, I've gone 4.3 miles and we've still got 94% left. So if we were to math that out, that's setting us up pretty good relative to that estimate of 70 miles per charge. I'm gonna keep the camera rolling here. Sounds like another train going through. Now this trail today is not nearly as crowded as last time I came down here. I think last time I visited here, it was maybe the fall and it was like 70 and sunny. It was a perfect day to be out. This trail was really busy that day. So I figured on a 100-degree afternoon, there probably wouldn't be all that many people out, and looks like I was right. So it was a great day to come down here and ride this Vanpowers Urban Glide Pro. Gonna add a little bit of turbo here again, since we're wide open. And I think we're gonna be coming up to the next bridge again soon. Then we're gonna ride up into the city. Don't know all the names of all these trails. I believe this one is called the River Walk, Percival's Island and River Walk. And then I think when I get up above there, it's called Blackwater Creek. Basically, they all interconnect. Still in pedal assist 1. Pedal assist 1 has been doing well for me. to tell you, when going close to 20 on here, I've been smacked a few times now with a bee or another bug in the face, and it kind of hurts when they're flying full speed at me and I'm kind of going 20 miles per hour toward them, or almost 20. Leaves a little bit more of a sting there, a little bit more of an impact. And this bike does have a bell on it right here. And the bell works pretty good. Of course, also has a red light at the back that functions as a brake light, and also just a light that can be on all the time at night. And then this does have a light on the front as well. All right, so it's time to ride up toward the city here and see what we can see up here. See if we can get some more hilly trail to kind of test this out on and show you how the bike does on the hills, and also to see how much battery power it eats up on those hills. Gonna do a quick camera check here before we go up that way. Just make sure everything's looking good. All right, so I think we're gonna ride across these train tracks here. Of course, with a bike, always be careful on train tracks. Usually these thicker tires like this aren't a problem, but if your tire does catch in there, it can really throw you. Haven't had it happen before, but I've seen it happen, and it's not fun. So I always warn people to be careful around train tracks. So we got a little bit of gravel here, which is a good test. Gonna do one more camera check here. Make sure we got a good angle. So on gravel, feels great. Potentially a little bit slipperier, obviously a little less grip than on blacktop, but not bad. Those 2 1/4 inch tires definitely help. This gravel here is quite loose. Pedal assist 1 just kind of plows right through it. So I believe this portion of trail right here is called the River Walk Trail, which I guess makes sense since we got the river right over here to my right, the other side of the train tracks. I believe about 6 or 7 years ago, there was a big derailment down here. A bunch of cars derailed and went into the river, caught a bunch of oil on fire on the surface of the river. It was quite a mess. I'm looking for shade again now. It is hot out here in the sun. Trail gets a little sketch to follow here, but there are some signs. And I obviously know not to ride on the railroad tracks. We're gonna do pedal assist 2 here. That makes a big difference on this uphill. That feels great. I believe the trail goes up here, so we're gonna find out. I think it goes over here to the right, but if I'm wrong, we'll double back and Get a little extra mileage out of it, no problem there. All right, let's see if I guessed this right. I always like to study a map ahead of time before I come to these places just to see, and I think I memorized it. Just like all these stats I talked about with the bike, if I did not remember them correctly, I will post the corrected ones in text below this talking part of the video. All right, so this trail I believe ends in 3 miles. So I'm gonna try to bike all the way to the end of it here. And this is along a stream called Blackwater Creek, hence the name of the trail. And I believe when I come back, there's a trail that I can come back on the other side. So we'll have a little bit of a change of scenery. And if I recall correctly, when reading about this, there should be a train tunnel up here that I can ride through. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And not an active train tunnel, by the way. This would be an old train tunnel that was converted into trail. So pedal assist 2 is kind of nice here. We've got a little bit of uphill, so it's good to have that. And just to show you, pedal assist, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. Pedal assist 5 is ridiculous because you just give it a little bit and it jumps you up to 20. Like, you basically don't have to do anything. It's almost the same as holding down the throttle button there. So pedal assist 5, I just kind of view it as a waste of my battery power and probably not needed unless I'm really tired or going up a really big hill. Then I might use it. So I'm gonna keep pedal assist 2 here, and where it's kind of open, I'm gonna do a little bit of throttle. Use a little more for battery power, just kind of see like a mix of usages here, how well that battery does. I'm still at 90% after going about 7 miles. So if we math that out, that is proportionate to 70 miles on one battery with the combination I've used so far today. So can't guarantee the battery's not gonna drop off quicker, of course, as it gets close to 0, but that's a good gauge right there, seeing that I've gone 7 miles so far and there's still 90% left. I believe this is our train tunnel coming up right here. Sure is. So, need to watch out here if there's slipperiness. Looks like the main trail is quite wet. Ah, yes. All right, that feels good. Dripping water, 100-degree day. Temperatures quickly drop in here. My camera might fog up a little in here. Oh, that feels incredible. I just want to ride in that train tunnel all day. So cruising along at 2 pedal assist. Still a little bit of an uphill this way. Not anything major. I think I could do pedal assist 1 and be fine. I'm gonna drop it back to 1 and see how it goes. So I believe this trail right here that drops down to the right, that's the one I'm gonna take on the way back. That's gonna give us a change of scenery there. And actually, I think to get the full trail, I want to go down this way. Had that map flashing through my head, and I think I want to go this way to get to the end, the full terminus of the trail. I think that other side trail only goes about a mile before it ends, but this particular one I believe goes 2 more miles before it comes to an end up here. So want to make sure I get the full ride out of this. All right, so I'm back to pedal assist 2 here on the slight uphill. I still have to work, but nothing terrible. Pretty pleasant. All right, so I think we are approaching close to the end of this trail now. If I remember correctly, based on the map, I think we should have about another mile to a mile and a half left. And it's gonna be turnaround time and go back to where I started. Cruise along a little bit here at 16, 17 miles per hour. It's a fairly nice stretch of trail. Not a lot of bumps or dips in it. Plus, I kind of like going faster because I like making as much of a breeze as I can, as fast as I can. It feels great. Stopping does not feel good. Looks like we're gonna get to some shade up here again. That'll be nice. Yep, 1 mile left. Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Trail's getting a little bumpy here again, but nothing major. The suspension on this really handles it well. Don't really feel the bumps at all. Gonna do a little pedal assist 3 here. A little more of an uphill, and it's wide open right now. Feels good right through there with all those stone cliffs on each side. Nice, cool air riding through there. That felt great. All right, we got a half mile left of this trail. Then this trail ends and I need to turn around and go back the way I came. Only bummer about going back that one way to the left is I'm gonna miss that train tunnel on the way back. We just have to ride through and back one more time because it feels so good. Hey, how are you? Hey, and this does have a lot of side trails along here, but those side trails would not be ones to take the Vanpowers Urban Glide Pro on. Those trails would be ones to take the Vanpowers version of a mountain bike on. This bike I would not recommend for mountain biking at all, and that's not what it's designed for. But it does do a great job, you know, a little bit of gravel like earlier, no problems there. Some bumps or minor obstacles, no problems there as well. This bike will easily handle those. So I need to officially make it to the end so I can turn around. There's our 0.0 sign. So we officially made it to the end here. Gonna do another camera check. All right, so we've done 9.5 miles and there's 86% battery left. That coffee back there smells really good. Looks like it's a place called Nomad Coffee. I need to take note of that. I will be back for coffee. Love trying little local coffee places whenever I visit a new place or whenever I visit a place not too often. Love to see what local coffee places they have. Always something unique. Little bumpy there. It's getting noticeably darker. I realize I'm in the shade, but there's some thick clouds up there, and it's 2:58 in the afternoon. Great thing about this is you can set your time on here and keep track of your time. I think there might be some thunderstorms coming in, so hey, that would certainly make this adventure even more fun. Wet trails to take the Urban Glide Pro on. Yep, I think I'm gonna have to go through that train tunnel again, then double back and go down the other way for a change of scenery. Train tunnel just feels so good today. A little bit of bumpy trail here and there. Hi. So I think this is an ever so slight downhill here. And if I remember correctly, when reading the history of this trail, I believe this used to be all railroad bed through here. So this used to be a railroad and then they converted it to a trail, which is common in a lot of cities.
There's a graduate.
A lot of cities have made good use of old rail beds instead of just having that sit there rotting over the years. They've converted them into nice trails at relatively low cost. So love it when cities do that. Gonna kick it into gear here. This is just with pedal assist 2, no throttle, but I got it up to about 20 there. And by the way, if you want to see that speedometer go over 20, if you are on a downhill and it's just coasting along, it'll go over 20. I tested this out a little bit closer to my house the other night and just coasting down a hill, speedometer got up to about 26. So speedometer will go higher than that. You just can't throttle higher than that. I believe there's some type of governor on it, on the motor, which the motor is located on the center of the back wheel there. The hub is. It's a brushless motor. After going 11 miles, the seat is still feeling great. I've been on some pretty uncomfortable bike seats before, and this one is much better than those. Like I said before, I don't feel the need to upgrade this one. I will also note that when I stopped back there at 0, I kind of checked everything on here to make sure it was all tight. Now that I've been 20 miles total with this, and everything felt good. Didn't need to use any of the Allen wrenches. The handlebars were tight. Everything around the wheels, I holds those on. The pedals were good. The adjustment of the stem up here, that was also good. So I guess I did a good job when putting it together. Love these wooden bridges. All right, so instead of turning left right away, I'm just gonna go down through the train tunnel and back one more time, and then I'll go down what'll be the right once I come around, and we'll have that different scenery on the way back. I don't remember seeing a tunnel ahead sign coming up from the other direction. Maybe I missed it. I have to say, this whole riding experience with the Vanpower Urban Glide Pro, this bike is just smooth, it feels solid, it feels well built. It doesn't feel like it's gonna fall apart while I'm riding it. Even when going over gravel or some of those bumps, it just does a fabulous job. Love how this bike feels. I can feel that rush of cold air. Feels incredible. This tunnel is well lit too. Yeah, I came back for the drips of water. Love it. All right, I gotta get a turnaround point here because I need to go through that once more so we can go back our other way. Let's turn around down here. In fact, it looks like there's another side trail right there to the right. Perfect place to turn around. But I would not take the Urban Glide Pro on that trail. I'm not feeling quite that adventurous today. All right, let's get back through there. And we'll get down to that lower trail, which is, I assume, on the other side of Blackwater Creek. I think we're probably gonna have a crossover down here. Yep, this tunnel is the highlight for me. And hey, I guess if it was winter, it would be warmer than outside temps in here. Because usually tunnels like this, if they're far enough underground and far enough in, they're gonna maintain about 52 year round. And it just feels fabulous in here. And we're gonna go down to the right. All right, we've got a little bit of a downhill here, and I definitely don't need pedal assist on at all. Good test of the brakes though. Don't want to ride them all the way down, but we've got a pretty sharp corner here. So looks like this trail to the left might go a little ways as gravel. So I think I'm actually gonna take that for a little bit and see what it's like. Don't think I've ever been on this before, so don't quite know what to expect. It may quickly become trail that I don't want to ride on, or it might just come to an end. Yep, we're gonna turn around here. That trail became one that I would take the Vanpowers version of the mountain bike on, but I would not take the Urban Glide Pro. Just won't give the best riding experience, and I don't want to break this bike. But this is where the Urban Glide Pro shines. Just a real good experience on this trail. So the water here on the left is very stagnant. You can basically see reflection in it. I don't know how much of that my camera's picking up, but kind of a lazy river there. I expect there's probably some type of dam down here, because this is hilly enough country around here that you don't usually see that type of setup in the stream. And by the way, this version of the Vanpowers Urban Glide Pro, this one has a large size and a small size. So the large size is for a height of 5'7" to about 6'2" or 6'3", but they do also make a small size that's for about 5'1" to 5'6", I believe, something around there. So depending on your height, Vanpowers has the bike for you. So in general, their bikes do cover most heights. Go take a look down here. By the way, this does surprisingly well across the grass. Don't really have any problems with it. Feels great on grass. Yep, definitely sounds like there is some type of dam down here. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. We are at the top of the dam. So that sign says use lower creek crossing for hikers and bikers. Ah, yes, that makes sense. So we're gonna ride across it. And, well, we are. I wanna kind of stop here and take a look at the dam. This is a steep hill. That is a pretty cool dam. And that's some type of stork or heron up there that just landed in the tree. That was pretty cool to see. And the sky's looking a little dark. I think we got a storm coming in. I'm gonna get back on the bike, but that was definitely worth stopping to see today. A great place to take this lower trail to see that. All right, we're gonna ride across this narrow little bridge down here. See what we can find. Hey, how are you? This is pretty cool. All right, so what do we do here? Let's see. All right, so our trail goes that way. Cool. Lots of twists and turns here. I love a good adventure. Not a boring old bike ride here by any means. Now I have to decide if that dam with the water flowing over it is the highlight or if the train tunnel is the highlight. I mean, there could be more highlights too, like this huge puddle up here. I'm gonna try to steer clear of most of that. But nice thing about this bike is it has the front and rear fender. So riding through that mud and water there, nothing splattered up on me. So that's also a nice design feature. I've definitely been on bikes before where I get covered with more mud than the bike, but not in this case. This trail has definitely been subjected to some flooding, I would say. There's a lot of silt and sand over here on it. So I'm guessing that stream down there probably flash flooded earlier this year, probably back earlier in the summer. Typical of those flash flood type thunderstorms. It's a great trail to just kind of cruise along. I'm gonna use the throttle here for a little bit, see how it does. Oh, we got a manhole cover. That looked like a worse bump than it was from a distance. Yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic. Trying to use up some more battery power. I mean, we're still at 81%. Hey, how are you? So I would say if you are using the throttle a lot, it's definitely going to use up the battery quicker. But at the same time, oh, we got a turtle here. He was in a pretty good move across the trail. But I was saying at the same time though, like I said, I don't expect it to get 70 miles anyway out of the full battery, but we're doing pretty good right now. Now that last part of the trail, the battery life went a little bit faster, and I think that's because most of it was pretty steady uphill. And I had pedal assist in 2 and even 3 some of the time. So that makes sense, but still, we're gonna be right around 15 miles at 80%. So if you math that out, that's still pretty good. All right, I gotta see what we got with our trail up here. Looks like we just keep going straight. That's probably another entrance to the trail up that way to the left. Looks like a substation down here. And vehicle on the path. Didn't know vehicles could drive on this path. I thought it was just a foot and bike trail only. Was not expecting that. Nice old buildings down here. Looks like a lot of them they've been converting into loft style apartments again, which I always love seeing. Hate seeing those beautiful old buildings sitting there abandoned. It's good to see them being used. All right, so we are back to this little bridge where we're gonna cross back to the trail that we took on the way up. Very nice bridge. All right, I know where we are now. We're back to the downtown riverfront area, and we've got kind of an incline up here. So I'm gonna put pedal assist 3. Actually, let's just do throttle up it and see what happens. Even on the uphill, it's gaining speed. Pretty cool. And we're gonna cruise back down here. Take our time going down here. Love these old stone streets too. Very cool. A little bit busy down here right now. Back to the gravel. Wanted to get it up to about 20 there on the gravel as well. Feels pretty solid. Don't feel like I'm going to imminently wipe out. All right, it's time to cross back over the tracks here before we get another 200 to 300 car train coming through. And that concludes our loop. Did about 15 miles, probably 15 on the dot when I get back to the parking lot.